Welcome to Bible Reader Companion. We're continuing our studies in 1 Timothy chapters 3 and 4, and we're continuing to look at 1 Timothy chapter 3. We looked yesterday at the fact that Paul talked about those who desire to be a bishop in God's church, desire a good work, and we have a need for that. He then goes on to talk, immediately following that, about the qualifications of this role. He says, beginning in verse 2 of 1 Timothy chapter 3, 1 Timothy chapter 3, beginning in verse 2, "A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, temperate, sober-minded, of good behavior, hospitable, able to teach, not given to wine, not violent, not greedy for money, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not covetous, one who rules his own house well, having his children in submission with all reverence. For if a man does not know how to rule his own house, how will he take care of the church of God? Not a novice, lest being puffed up with pride, he fall into the same condemnation as the devil. Moreover, he must have a good testimony among those who are outside, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil." Now, obviously, we don't have time in a 2 to 3 minute session to discuss what all of these roles and what all of these qualifications mean. But here's what we need to understand about what Paul has to say here. These are not qualities and characteristics that you develop overnight. These are not qualities and characteristics that someone wakes up at the age of 45 or 50 or 60 or whatever you believe that age is, that a man can serve as an elder and suddenly say, I think I'd like to be an elder. And I think I'm going to start developing these qualities. So many of these have to do with things that start very early in life. Choosing the right spouse who will help you be the kind of leader and have the kind of household that you want to have. Developing the kind of reputation, working to study and to grow so that you're not a novice in the scriptures. These are things that take time. Now, what does that mean? That means it goes back to what we talked about yesterday, in that we ought to desire this. And what that means is we ought to, as Christians ourselves, strive from a very early age to work toward these goals, to understand, to know what these are, and to work toward them. So that when we reach an age later in life where we have that opportunity to be leaders of God's people, we will have worked to qualify ourselves to be such. But even more, it means that we as Christians should be encouraging our children and our grandchildren and those in our congregations. And we should be teaching and encouraging men at all ages, and especially young ages, to understand these qualifications so that they can grow into these roles. Don't wait until it's time to look for leadership to start talking about this. We should be talking about this from youth to encourage the right kind of character in our men and in ourselves. Let's think about these things, and I hope you'll join us again tomorrow.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook for more content like this.